All right, the last topic within global is supply chain security and the role of ports. Given the importance of global trade to the United States, a delicate balance exists between security and the efficient flow of global commerce. If security is too tight, it can impede the flow of needed goods or materials, causing delays and decreased efficiency. Ports and border gateways can become congested because of security measures. Consequently, clearance time is increased from hours to days in some instances. Steps have been taken to improve the flow through border crossing. This is necessary for our global economy. Electronic filing of cargo information has helped to improve the border clearance times. The Trade Act of 2002 requires exporters to electronically submit shipping documents to U.S. Customs 24 hours after delivery to a port or 24 hours before vessel departure. For imports, the manifest must be filed by the ocean carrier or the consolidator 24 hours before the U.S.-bound cargo is loaded on the vessel in the foreign port. Because of Canada's importance as a trading partner, an expedited procedure, FAST, has been developed to speed up clearance through the U.S.-Canadian border. The U.S. Coast Guard was authorized by the U.S. Maritime Transportation Security Act of 2002 to assess the vulnerability of U.S. ports and to deny entry to ships from countries that do not meet U.S. security standards. This act requires the development of standards for container seals and locks, cargo tracking, identification, and screening systems for ocean containers. In addition, the Customs Trade Partnership Against Terrorism was established under the direction of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in November of 2001. This voluntary initiative to secure the global supply chain was started with 7 companies. By 2007, some 7,400 corporations were involved in this cooperative effort to secure the global supply chain and to facilitate legitimate cargo and conveyance. CTPAT functions under the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency, which previously was known as the U.S. Customs Service. CBP has responsibility for the traditional role of U.S. Customs, namely, preventing illegal entry of people and drugs, protecting agricultural from harmful pests and diseases, protecting the intellectual property of businesses, collecting import duties, and regulating and facilitating global trade. Partner companies in CTPAT agree to be responsible for keeping their supply chain secure to agreed standards and to implement needed changes. One of the key features of this program is information sharing of best practices for security among members. The goal is to develop a green lane to speed goods across the border, but also to protect the United States and the global supply chain of the participants. Ports are a critical part of supply chains and also a major focus for global security. Over $2 trillion in trade value per year passes through U.S. ports, and over $20 billion is collected in industry fees and taxes. The 50 states utilize about 15 ports to handle their imports and exports. Over $6 billion worth of goods moves in and out every day. About 99% of the international cargo of the United States move through its ports, or about 3 billion tons annually. In 1960, international trade accounted for about 9% of U.S. gross domestic product. Today, it is over 30%.